Okay. Hi, everyone. Amanda was having technical difficulties getting in, so I'm just waiting for her because she has the PowerPoint. Mm. Just be a couple minutes. Mm. Now, someone's saying they can't get in. Hold on. Okay. She's almost in. I think she had to restart her computer. But we're really excited. Everyone did very well. A lot of you guys did the tracking and posted a lot of the photos in the Facebook page or emailed them to us. And then even the people who did the in bodies had some great results as well, which we're going to go more in depth into just about what to expect and what you could be looking at with the in body and just kind of like the average of the people who did do the pre and post and what the averages that we saw as well. Amanda's here. Let me make you the host.
Thank you. Thank you. All right, so let me see. Let me do share screen. Hey guys. Share screen. Come on. Guys, my computer's being a little weird today. Desktop. Share. It's making me go into system preferences. Here we go. Okay.
All right, for some reason I'm like blurry on my computer, so.
It wants me to quit and open now. I'm going to press later and just let's see if it lets me share screen now. There we go. Okay. Share. Okay. Okay, can everyone see the presentation?
Yes.
Beautiful. Okay. All right. So, yeah, just like Christina was saying, so our goal for tonight is to provide a summary essentially of the challenge, the logistics of more like the why behind why we face things a certain way between the 3 weeks. And of course, most importantly, to celebrate everybody and celebrate the winners from the challenge. We'll lead to that at the end of the session. And of course, we'll talk about ways of transitioning from the challenge today to newer ventures and, keeping the proverbial ball in the air. So today we're going to just, like I said, summary and then go into more so celebration. So, of course, the goal of this challenge, remember, was to cultivate healthier habits, set some New Year's intentions, and embrace like a holistic approach to those past 3 weeks that we all experienced, right? So, we started off with looking realistically. Why won't it let me advance? No, it's skipping it. There we go. We started at looking realistically, almost at the spectrum in a way of, okay, where do I kind of fall? Do I fall more towards the left? Do I fall more towards the right? Where am I starting? And then what's a realistic expectation that I can bring myself to, right? So that's why we had you guys fill out those awesome SMART goals cheat sheets. That's kind of the mindset I want us to try to embrace going forward if we're trying to pick up a new habit, whether it's drinking water, decreasing sugar sweetened beverages for some. If it's trying to increase our protein, saying realistically, where am I starting? And then what would be a good place for me to bring it to, right? So that's where SMART goals came in. So they're specific, measurable, achievable, relevant, or I like to say realistic and time bound. So for many of us, it was like, how can I meal prep more, right? So maybe the goal was to meal prep at least 5 days per week. So that's a specific, a measurable goal. It's an action oriented goal, and that you know exactly what you have to do to achieve it. So we want to try to utilize SMART goals going forward into the rest of the year, as you've already built the foundational meal prep, but maybe you're like, oh, I need to get my protein up. So then we'd set a SMART goal around, okay, maybe I should try to have at least 20 grams of protein at my lunches. And that's something easy and measurable to track. So it helps us to break up what you call like the yo-yo dieting, or the dieting cycle, essentially, of like restriction, what can I take away, where we're thinking from an abundance mindset or a growth mindset of what can I add to my lifestyle, right? So what we didn't do is we weren't restrictive, right? We said you can eat any food you want to have. We want to try to eat anti-inflammatory foods. We didn't tell anybody to cut out any of their favorite foods. So hopefully no one's feeling deprived and then therefore likely to fall off track. If anything, it opens up what you call an abundance mindset. So we started off with, looking at our meal prep steps of what we want to do for the week. So we still want you guys to embrace these habits of looking at your schedule for the week, picking out some recipes, or if you're more into doing some bulk prep, a bunch of grilled chicken or a bunch of cut vegetables, so like a 3-bean salad, finding what works for you and figuring what time in your schedule and blocking it off is most appropriate to cook or to set up time for prep or cooking, or grocery shopping throughout the week. So never forget these meal prep steps, and they're definitely tools to keep going. Of course, many of us got a meal plan portion guide. Of course, please keep using these throughout the next couple of months. Your needs might change though if you increase your physical activity, or of course as weight changes. So we definitely encourage you guys at Functional Nutrition RX. We do have a whole team of registered dietitians available to meet multiple different needs of different individuals and different medical conditions. So if you're looking to build upon this meal plan portion guide, you can always go more specific in counseling, as one of our registered dietitians or one of us as registered dietitians gets to know you better, right? So this can always get developed further if you liked it a lot. So of course, like, let's put together the 3 weeks. So we started off first with meal prep, then we looked at satiation, and then we looked at more of like a mental satiation or emotional eating, right? So the whole point of the meal prep is to prevent us from going too long without eating, right? Oh shoot, I don't have my lunch today. I'm kind of just grazing on little snacks, and then I'm coming home from work starving Marvin as like a 1 on this spectrum, right? And then when that happens, I'm more likely to end at 10. So that's how the meal prep foundation helps us to keep eating throughout the day, prevent from getting overtly hungry, accidentally maybe eating too quickly or eating too big of a portion, or catching a case of the effits, right? Like, oh no, it's been so long since I've eaten. I'm super hungry. I don't feel like cooking. I just want something quick, and it's might be less optimal and less nutrient rich. So it also helps us to hold over. What we learned with satiation is we have to balance out our meals, right? If I just have fiber, or if I just have, say, carbs in my meal and not a lot of protein or even a lot of healthy fat, then yes, I'm going to be hungry and really wanting to eat my left hand in probably an hour or two, right? So we built upon having meal prep by also looking at balancing our plate, right? That was that stepping up to the plate and that anti-inflammatory eating video of saying, okay, I want to try to make at least 1/4 my plate a protein, 1/4 my plate a high fiber complex carb. And yes, we do encourage you guys having the carbs, believe it or not, especially if we're exercising. And of course, our even greater carbs are fruits and vegetables, making half our plate fruits and vegetables. So we don't want to put these out the window. We highly recommend you guys maybe put the little stepping up to the plate graphic on your refrigerator or on your table, of course, is just a gentle reminder for the types of foods that we want to be aiming towards. We also talked about, after going from physical satiation, more so psychological satiation, right? So I had enough protein today. I've had a lot of fiber today. I've caught up on my meals. I've meal prepped for the day. I'm hitting all those important portioning steps. What's going on? Why am I going towards the freezer, towards the mochi? Or why am I going towards the chocolate covered bananas? Am I hungry? Am I craving? What's going on? Well, okay, maybe it's stress. All right, I'm not super hungry. I'm just noticing I'm really, really stressed. I've had a crazy day. What can I do to unwind? Can I go play with my dog? Can I call a friend? And this is where also meditation can come into play to keep us grounded and present. So we laid this foundation as well. And we wanted to focus on giving you guys a bunch of rerouters. I'd wanted to put the winter bucket list in here. So I wanted to make sure we touched on that as something, as a tool for you guys to be able to utilize. Now that we're in that tail end of winter, sun's starting to pop out, we're getting back outside, as like a healthy rerouter for like the weekends, right? Like I'm home with my friends or my family, I'm getting kind of bored and munchy. What can I do instead, right? Can we go out for a walk? Can we go, rock climbing? Can we go bowling? Can we set up healthy activities that we're not just sitting in a restaurant or sitting in a movie theater, we're keeping ourselves moving. So one thing that we want to make sure that we embrace is sometimes things are going to happen throughout our day that, say, a cupcake slips in, or chocolate, more or less is realistic, slips in throughout the day. We don't want to have one flat tire and then cut the other three. The goal is, all right, something happened, I'm going to see my day in terms of 4 quarters, just like an athlete. If we have a down first quarter or second quarter, we're going to come back and kick butt in the third or the fourth quarter, meaning that if I'm out to eat on the weekend and I go out for brunch and maybe I have something a little less optimal at brunch, the whole day isn't gone or wasted. It's just, the next meal or the next opportunity to make a healthy choice. So we're trying to defeat that yo-yo dieting mindset and focusing more on having the foods prepped that we need to eat, taking simple steps, listening to our body's satiation, eating enough so that we don't overeat later in the day. And then, of course, when stress and procrastination, for me, like if I'm procrastinating, that's one of my emotional eating triggers, right? Or for some people, for some of my guys, it's like frustration. Everyone's a little different. It could be boredom, it could be celebration, but it's just all about getting to know ourselves. And I think by bringing that topic up, it helps us to just stay reflective of it throughout the rest of the year. Some considerations moving forward. Think about why you started the challenge. Think about why you wanted to start making some healthy changes. Is it a goal just to feel more comfortable in our skin? Is it a goal to lower our blood sugar? Is it a goal that we want to try to eat a little bit more fiber to have a little bit more regular digestion, say, or just want to nourish ourselves better and take in more vitamins and minerals so that we could, live to 90? My across the street neighbor, Mr. Huddy, he is my fitness icon. He wants to climb up on the roof and clean his gutters, right? So that's my why. I need to kick Mr. Huddy's butt. I'm kidding. I love him. So we just got to think about what's our why, because in the field of nutrition, it can get so convoluted with, what's the next thing I want to focus on, right? Like I just focused on meal prep and following this meal plan. Now, do I want to, jump into something really crazy, or do I want to just start small and think small, realistic goals? What's my why, right? What's going to take me to what I want to do? Am I doing something just to do it because all my friends are doing it? Or is it actually going to bring me to something that I've really been wanting to work towards? So the whys behind our challenge of what we wanted to do is, of course, we wanted everybody to lead a happier, more nourished life, but we wanted people to find joy in eating and cooking and a better relationship with meal prep. It's not a chore, but something fun that we can do with our family and with our loved ones, right? We built a really nice support group. The Facebook group is going to stay up, and I'll get to that in a little bit. We want to celebrate our non-scaled achievements. We want to celebrate maybe if we had some different metabolic health outcomes, if some people saw lower blood pressure, for example. Our whys were essentially to create an environment of accountability for everybody and a fun competition just to help as an added motivator. But we hope that everyone had fun, most importantly, along the way, because nutrition is not just, work or clinical. This is what my doctor wants me to do. It's about finding fun and relationship and connection with food. So that brings us to how we can win this challenge, right? So we have two winners today. So the first winner is the meal prep consistency winner. So the meal prep consistency winner is the person who logged the most foods prepped in their challenge tracker. And also the way to kind of break the tiebreaker, because we did have, it got really close actually. We also looked towards who was posting the most in the group and had the most engagement with their meals as well. So we shall announce in a minute. Next was the body recompositioning winner. So it's not just the most weight loss, but it's the most favorable metabolic weight change, meaning you want to try to increase muscle because muscle contains your mitochondria, right? Mitochondria, powerhouse of the cell, meaning that it helps to drive our metabolism. That's why men can burn more calories just sitting there being alive compared to many ladies out there, because typically they have more testosterone, which causes them to have more muscle. More muscle, they're just burning more calories to sustain that tissue versus body fat. So the individual who won the body recompositioning portion of the challenge is the person who lost the most body fat, but also may have had favorable gains in muscle as well, right? We're not trying to just whittle ourselves down as tiny as we can be, because our weight is made up of four components, right? Bone, our liquid, like our lymph, our blood, our hydration, our muscle, and our body fat. 3 out of the 4, we want to be heavy. So we just want to promote healthy body recompositioning. So some realistic weight loss goals would be to have lost about a half a pound to 3 pounds throughout the challenge. For those who did more, that's awesome. Kudos. Maybe muscle gain of a couple, decimals of about a half a pound may have been realistic. A little visual changes there, and body fat loss of about 0.5 to 2%. But Christina and I wanted to share with you that you guys actually exceeded these goals. So this is the average. So it's actually not factoring 2 people in here, which I think the average might have actually gone up a little more if we factor those 2 people potentially, right, Christina? So this is the average of those who did the body composition. So just remember, not everybody did the in-body measurements, but from what we have, on average, the group lost per person about 2.5 pounds, the average person, and gained about 0.3 pounds of muscle. And remember how I was saying previously about 0.5 to 2% fat loss was the realistic outcome that we had set in the beginning? Well, you guys lost 2.6%. So you went over by 0.6% of what the realistic outcome was. So the group really did, 2.6 pounds, I should say, really did do well with about 0.8% body fat loss with an in-body score of 1.3, which is just a factor of all 4 of those other measures together. But you have to.
Just to jump in on that too, when I do the body fat percentage with clients, and when I see like over a month, if they lose like 1% or higher, that's like a lot. So for this to be 3 weeks and the average to be 0.8%, that's a very good amount of body fat percentage to have lost.
Yeah. So you guys did it, and most importantly, as a team. So that's really cool. Like the whole part of this is like, as dietitians, there's like a peek behind the scenes. We always look at, like what's the social support around the individual? Do they have family members at home really helping them out? Do they have a social circle of friends that also tend to eat, similar, because we are who we sometimes spend our time with? And you guys really created that environment for each other and really helped to push each other. And maybe it's in subconscious ways. If you're seeing a notification come up on Facebook of, oh, so and so posted this, that looks really good, maybe I'll try that. So just be proud of yourselves, because we're really proud of you guys. So next we're gonna announce our winner. So drum roll. Okay, ta-da! So the winners are, Emily is our winner of the meal prep challenge. Woo woo, go Em. I see you, girl. I see you smiling on Zoom. And then our winner of the body composition is Laura. Congratulations, guys. We're really proud of you. And there was a lot of really, really close runner-ups as well. So more importantly, we're doing this for our health and our well-being, but we're really proud of you guys.
Yeah, Jean and Linda, who are both on here too, were, I would say, our runners up for the meal prep, because it was like super close between the 3 of you guys, and we had to kind of do a tiebreaker. So you guys did awesome.
It was a great job, guys. And we just want to keep building this forward. So we hope you had a really good job. We hope you had a really good time doing this because you did a really good job. And we just want to say thank you for everybody participating. We're super happy that everyone had positive talk in the group and everyone worked together as a team and really encouraged each other, shared ideas, unique ideas, whether they were the recipes that were shared or the recipes that weren't shared. We really loved both of that creativity coming together. Of course, like we're saying, we want to encourage you to keep building upon these habits. The Facebook group, we're not going to take it down. If anything, we're just going to build it forward. So next, we're going to announce our next challenge. So if you guys would want to keep building forward, of course, we're going to actually start. We've got a quick turnaround on this is Saturday. If you guys are interested, we're going to try to do what we call like a mini challenge. So this was a bigger challenge. So many of you might still want to be focusing in on these same things. It takes about 3 to 6 months to make something a habit. So these goals are still very much real goals to keep focusing time and attention on, but maybe we're feeling ready to take on something new, focusing in on maybe our water, like our consistent water intake. And we just like alliteration. So we made it the water and walking challenge, but really it will be about like more so exercise minutes so that if someone wants to use the rower or weight train or walk, we can connect your smartwatch if you'd like to the Practice Better app as a way of calculating minutes exercised, or someone could manually enter that as well. We do trust everybody. So that would be one way. And then same with the Practice Better app. You could add your water just like you would with MyFitnessPal or the Lose It app. And we would just be encouraging the Facebook group to stay up and going. If you want to share your meals, please go ahead. That's awesome. But if you have creative ways, if you want to engage in this challenge of how to, how you're staying hydrated or different exercises you're doing, we will be opening up the Facebook group to a little bit more of an expansion of that. It's going to start coming up this Saturday and it'll go through till the Thursday before Good Friday, which is March 21st. So it's right around the start of spring. We're supposed to have a bunch of 50-degree weather coming up. So the black ice is gone and melted and we're ready and feeling safe to go outside. So that's our next challenge. And then after that, in April, we're preparing everybody for a much bigger challenge where we're looking to incorporate group fitness classes while doing a Whole30 challenge. Christina, do you want to go over Whole30? Like just a little prequel of what it is?
Yeah, the Whole30 diet is basically focused on whole foods, no processed foods. It removes some different food groups. So it's not really appropriate for people who may have an eating disorder or an like disordered eating relationship with food, but it basically is focusing on proteins, whole, like starchy vegetables, like sweet potatoes, things like that, but removing more of the grains and consuming fruits, nuts, seeds, things like that. And basically, we're going to provide a lot of Whole30 recipes, and then we're going to hopefully put together some group fitness. Sorry, my dog. I don't know if you hear my dog barking in the background. So it's like messing with my head. But yeah, so some fitness will be included as well. So we are going to put that all together and send that out probably within the next couple of weeks. And both of these challenges will be covered by insurance as well, like this one was.
So if you guys want as a way to, keep the momentum going, keep building these habits, create this set in stone schedule routine for yourself, these are 2 avenues for you. We highly encourage it. We won't kick you out of the Facebook group though if you're not, doing the challenges, but of course we want to invite everybody to join just because we're a team. But of course, just in case if someone's looking to build forward, maybe something's going on with their insurance, or maybe they're not ready to take on some new challenges, maybe start to think about picking 1 or 2 goals, whether it's tracking your food, tracking your steps, trying to increase resistance training 2-3 times a week, or increasing produce intake, as now produce season is coming more into effect. We're going to have more locally grown produce, of course, as the season goes on. picking about like two of these like blue bars is something to maybe focus on. However, if you're doing the challenge, it can be overwhelming if you're doing all of this at once. So we wanted to give everybody that avenue. And most importantly, we want you guys to celebrate yourselves tonight and enjoy. And for the winners, you guys get to win at least one or the other of 1 month membership to the gym, or a $50 gift card. So that's totally your choice. We just want you to email us, Christina, what, by end of day tomorrow, we'd say?
Yeah, if I don't hear from you, I'll reach out to you. So
Yeah. Here we go. Just what you would prefer. We'll let you guys sleep on it, of course. And does anyone have any questions for us?
I do.
Oh, yes.
Thank you. Thank you for doing this, by the way. This has been great, and I needed something to get me back on track. But I'm finding I'm craving a lot of sweets at night. Like, what do you recommend
So
to
definitely.
combat that?
So if someone's craving sweets at night, right? Like definitely check earlier in the day, because sometimes we might not be getting enough, like quote, I don't like saying good or bad, but like enough like better carbs earlier in the day. That could be one thing. But as like a sweet swap, I love doing like a Greek yogurt bark where you're taking like parchment paper over like a sheet pan, pouring out some Greek yogurt, maybe adding some unsweetened coconut, dark chocolate chips, maybe some frozen fruit, popping that in the freezer, and then you can break from it like a piece of bark similar to like chocolate. Or I love doing like pina colada chia pudding or nice cream. People are using cottage cheese instead of Greek yogurt to make nice cream now, which is essentially like blended cottage cheese or yogurt with like a fruit, maybe like graham crackers, say like strawberry graham cracker, freezing that. And then when you're ready to have it, you just reblend it again like you would ice cream to give it more of that texture.
I
Yeah,
also like frozen cherries and frozen blueberries as like a sweet snack, but then making sure that you're drinking enough water, like Amanda, I think mentioned, and eating enough like earlier in the day.
Thank
absolutely.
you.
Of course, of course. Does anyone have other questions? It doesn't have to be topic specific.
Someone asked, how do we sign up for the next challenge in the chat? We will be sending out information on how to sign up shortly.
Absolutely. And then this challenge will be smaller. There'll just be a starting and an ending presentation just because it's a 20-day challenge.
Hi, this is Linda. Can you hear me?
Hey, Linda. Yes.
Hi, how are you? I just wanted to say thank you to both of you. I think this has been really informative. The recipes are fantastic, and I know I'm going to carry a lot of them through with me in the future. So thank you very much.
No, it's our pleasure. And thank you. We're
Yeah.
grateful for you guys. All right.
I
Well,
agree with, been very informative. A lot of information, some new habits started, good habits. So thank you.
of course.
Absolutely. Thank you.
What would you guys say? Is there any non-scaled victories that anyone wants to give a shout out about? Just like something that maybe feeling more energized or, noticing different changes in clothing or, I know for me, when I started doing more meal prep, I saved a lot more money and I was like, oh, I can put that towards vacation.
I felt like was eating more vegetables, which made me happy.
I love that. I
For
agree.
me, it was time. Like the value of spending the time on Sunday and a couple nights just getting stuff done, how much that freed up other time during the week.
Oh, yeah, it's like that investment on a Sunday. It seems like I get in my head sometimes in the past about it, like, oh, it feels so laborious, but then you save so much time later
And
in the
like
week.
the nights that I might have not had something as great or gone out to eat, I didn't have to because I already had something ready.
Huh. So your non-scale victory might have been like you might be taking in more vitamins and minerals because of that. Because then if you're getting more home prep meals, then you're probably getting in more like nutrient rich foods too. So it's like a trickle down effect.
I agree. This is Linda. I really had less desire to go out to dinner or buy food out because I had plenty of stuff in the fridge. And even though I honestly wasn't well for like about a week and a half, so it impeded my gym time, I definitely did feel that I lost some bulk around my midsection. And to me, that's terrific.
That's awesome. That's the number one spot to lose it. And then it just helps us most with like just mobility in the gym too, feeling more comfortable. I know for me, when I'm loose around my midsection, my labs are a little better. So big time. It all like trickles down and affect like I hope the one thing that like Christina and I really wanted a lot of people to see from the challenge, and it seems like everyone's seeing that, is if we're meal prepping, we're also by default checking off other boxes, if that makes sense, with other goals. So if I'm meal prepping, I'm getting more protein in my diet, for example. Yeah.
True.
Awesome stuff, guys. Well, all right. So Christina and I are always a message away, a phone call away, an email away, any modality. And we will be reaching out with information about the next challenge. And it's been a pleasure working with everybody for this challenge. Like this did not feel like work. This just felt like fun. So thank you guys for everything. This was a great team experience. And have a great night.
Thank
Thank
you.
you.
Good meal for us.
Thank you.
Bye, guys.
Bye, guys.
Thank you.